Good morning, good morning, good morning, all of you beautiful nerds from around the world, and welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, the very best way to start your nerdy day. Whoa, 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 baby! We got a good show for you today. We got to talk about news that came out over the weekend. Sony appears to have more leverage than we thought when it comes to Marvel Studios. Phase 4 films being delayed for Sony movies. Wait till we dig in and really get into what this probably means. Very crazy stuff going on. I also want to talk to you about this Star Wars story that's out there about Leslie Headland, conspiracies, Bob Iger and Bob Chapek saying, no, 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 Kathleen Kennedy. And then Kathleen Kennedy saying, I go over here and do my own thing. Spoiler alert. That's all bullshit. I'll explain to you what my sources have told me, and we'll get into that as well, okay? So it's going to be a good day. Should be really spicy. How's everybody doing out there? I see a bunch of lovely faces there in Das Building. Will Morgan, Stormbreaker, Mr. Deed, Crazed Panda, Second Street, Marvel, Bill M, Justin, Grey Dawn, James Heaton, Maverick, John Easton, Brian, Mike Porter, Yinzer Jim, Stevie, Jacob's Quest, XR Coon, Jason's here, Rob Van Camp, Writes Reviews. Oh, hoo, 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 hoo. We got a full house in the building. If you are watching this on Facebook or on the Twitch, welcome. Welcome to the morning stream. We'll be here at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, breaking down the latest going on in the nerdy world. If you're wondering, why am my chat's not over there? That's just because that's on our YouTube channel. So if you want to be a part of the chats over here, you're going to have to get onto the YouTube channel. Wow, chat, you got it grooving today, baby. You got it grooving. Turn that up a little bit. Monday morning. The 27th. Quarantine, and I got my Taylor Lane coffee in, baby. Woo! The official coffee of the morning streams. Taylor Lane, organic coffee. Go there, order it, use the code NERD10 at checkout so that they know we sent you over there. I'm telling you, baby. This music right here, this is the exact mood. This is the mood that happens when you drink a little bit of Taylor Lane organic coffee. Woo! Woo! Oh my God, and look at the love. Geologist B coming in with a super chat. Super chatting us to tell everyone to hit the like button. Oh my God, the love is unreal this morning. I can't believe it. If you could hit the like button, no matter what you're watching this on, you could hit the like button and it would help us out. No matter what. Done and done. What is going on, everybody? Okay. I think we're vibing too hard. Chat, we're vibing too hard, man. Pull that back. Pull that back a little bit, man. You would think this was the April 20th show. Switch it up, man. We got to yeah. No. Give me chill. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start this off. Let's get into the first topic of the day. By the way, I'm very excited to kind of get into the Star Wars talk as well. I've been watching a lot of the videos of people breaking this down, and I'm just like, holy shit, you're lying. Oh my God, you're ass pulling. Holy bejesus, it's clear you have no sources. But we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, put me onto the big screen, chat. And in fact, I know we just got this music going on, but you're going to have to pause this for me, brother. Yeah. Hit that pause button. Pause that music. Okay. Let's talk about this, guys. This is absolute insanity. It's absolute insanity. Marvel Studios. Moving dates around, ladies and gentlemen. Moving them around. We had thought, okay, MCU's moving some stuff. They had a brilliant strategy. And actually, believe it or not, a lot of people that watch this show, because we have the most educated, most brilliant audience on the internet, a lot of people actually postulated that this was what Marvel Studios was going to do. They were going to push all of their release dates just back. You know what I mean? Black Widow gets Eternals. Eternals pushes into next year, and we just bump everything back one release date. Marvel has obviously a lot of release dates locked on in for a long, long time. All was well, and that seemed to be the strategy. Now, on a side note here, I do want to give sort of a shout-out to Adam from Fanjexer. He should be on the show this week sometime as well. Maybe Thursday. I'll have to reach out to Adam, and we'll figure that out. But we had this discussion, or I believe I was making this point, and he agreed with me in the chat. And we were of the mind that, look, studios are delaying things, and we're going to tell you about it. But at the same time, everybody, the world is in such chaos right now that these dates might not even stick. You know what I mean? I'll go as far as to tell you right here and now, I don't even think what I'm reporting to you today is the final decision. I think things will happen, and I think things will still change. But many of you were like, no. That can't be. They'll obviously have these dates. These dates are locked in. This will be good. We'll have these dates. No! Trust me. Too crazy. Right now, a lot of people are speculating in Hollywood that the earliest they will be able to get back to work on production for these different films and projects will be late this year or early next year. Late this year or early next year. I'm talking October or past. Okay? So, what did we find out on Friday? Well, late Friday, it broke that because Sony Pictures has to delay Spider-Man, Marvel Studios is going to help them out a little bit. Now, let's get into the actual dates, and then we'll talk about what this means. Okay, so originally, Doctor Strange 2 was going to come out May 7th, 2021. Okay? When Black Widow got pushed, it pushed Doctor Strange 2 to November 5th of 2021. Already a pretty big push. When Friday they announced another push, we now will be receiving Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness, the next really big Avengers, 4.5, like a huge, massive movie. That's what we've been speculating about. That's what we think it's going to be. That movie is now coming out March 25th, 2022. It is going to shock you and deflate you how much we're going to be talking about 2022 in this report. I just checked. It's 2020. That's 2 years from now. So, of course, this probably means that WandaVision will be delayed as well, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Thor 4 is actually being flip-flopped with Doctor Strange and will now come out before Doctor Strange and will come out February 11th, 2022. And Spider-Man 3, the Sony movie, is going to take the original pushback date for Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. That's right. A Sony movie. I want to repeat this. A Sony movie is going to take that November 5th, 2021 date. And for all intents and purposes, that is the reason that Doctor Strange 2 will now be delayed to 2022. And you might say, okay, well, obviously there was some story thing going on there. They had to shuffle it around, Spider-Man's got to come out before Doctor Strange 2. Incorrect. Wrong. Because Spider-Man was originally slated to come out after Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange 2, remember, was going to hit on May 7th, middle of the summer. July of next year was originally when Spider-Man 3 was going to hit. That's crazy. But actually, it doesn't stop there. Because now you're looking at a 2022, which will have Thor 4, Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, and then it had an October 7th release date. Do you guys remember this? The speculation before Friday was that Blade was going to come in and be the film that took that October spot. Well, guess what's going to take that October spot now? Into the Spider-Verse 2, which is not only a Sony movie, but it is a Sony movie that would seem to have zero involvement and connective tissue to the MCU and zero involvement from Kevin Feige. 2021 is now going to be half MCU movies and half Sony movies. You understand? And if Morbius squeezes into next year, which could happen, then you're actually looking at 3 Sony movies and 2 Marvel Studios movies. And so the question is, fucking what? Why? Now, this is something we've been talking about on the channel for a long time. We don't know the exact arrangement that Marvel and Sony now have. Okay? Big falling out last year. Big falling out. But apparently, they're now all good. Now, the only thing we heard, we got an official statement by Kevin Feige. We got an official statement by Sony. By the way, that's already weird. It's already weird. When we talk about the Star Wars story in a little bit here, we're going to talk about normal procedures between trades and studios and how that political situation usually works. It was incredibly weird to get the announcement of the Sony Marvel deal back on from frickin' Kevin Feige. That's weird. It's a power play. But he comes out and says that whole statement about how, Spider-Man is the only character that can swing between universes, blah, blah, blah. What we were told was that there were 2 movies now that we were going to get in the MCU with Spider-Man beyond Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is going to be produced by Kevin Feige and Sony. And then we're getting 2 more Spider-Man movies in the MCU, okay? But we didn't know what's the dealio with that? What is Marvel Studios getting? It felt like Sony was getting the better end of that deal. Now, when I step back and look at a slate in which Sony Pictures is not only forcing delays in the MCU, but is nabbing up Marvel release dates. Marvel release dates, folks. Marvel release dates. These are release dates that Disney has, and they are giving them to Sony. Question is, why? Well, the only thing that makes any amount of sense to me when it comes to this situation is that Marvel must be getting something. Nay, Marvel must be getting something significant. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Why play ball? It's actually the perfect scenario. If Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige wanted to separate, wanted to do their own thing, this is the perfect scenario for them. It is super obvious that it's not on the agenda. And so we've been talking a lot, guys, about, hey, man, Sony's doing their own thing. This is crazy. It's not going to have continuity with Marvel Studios. They're doing their own thing. That's crazy. They're on their own. That's crazy. Well, it kind of would fucking appear not. It would appear that whatever this new arrangement is between Sony and Marvel, it's way more connected than we might have thought. Tyrese, spoiled some stuff talking about how he had this multi-picture deal and that the whole Sony Marvel universe was in the MCU. Okay, that's the verbiage that was used. Now, it's like, what does that mean? Because we were under the impression that this was their Sony version of in the MCU. If you can't tell, does it matter? Sort of thing. The Westworld question, right? For all my Westworld people. That's essentially what we thought Sony's play was. Well, this is Tom Holland. You saw him hanging out with the Avengers. Now you see him hanging out with Venom and all this shit. It's obvious. It's in the MCU. For the normies. The hardcore people are like, yeah, but is it though? Yeah, but is it though? Well, now that I look at these release dates, now that I look at freaking Into the Spider-Verse gets the Blade date, I'm sorry. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Ted. Something really wild is going on behind the scenes. Maybe Sony and Marvel are both creating a shared universe. Maybe this arrangement is way crazier than we thought. Because otherwise, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around why this would happen. So what could Sony have given Marvel that would make them want to do this? That would make them want to play ball? Well, number one, I think it's more Spider-Man. That's obvious. I think Feige really, really, really wants Tom Holland's Spider-Man to continue to play around in the MCU. I think Sony is trying to figure out a way to have Tom Holland in their universe, but also go play with the Avengers and things like that, okay? So that's number one. Number two, Norman Osborn. It's obvious. Marvel wants Norman Osborn. As recently as a couple of months ago, I was told that, yes, indeed, Marvel Studios still wants Norman Osborn. They still have plans for Norman Osborn. When we had Charles Murphy on the show, he essentially laid it out there that Marvel's plan was to create a character that could be Osborn, but if things go south with Sony, it doesn't need to be Osborn. It would be somebody else. They'll plug someone else in. Aldrich Killian, the real Mandarin, and it could be a bunch of different people. So I think if I'm speculating here about what I think Marvel Studios might have gotten in this deal in order to make them move these dates around and do this, I think it's the fact that they have more Tom Holland Spider-Man than we're aware of. Because otherwise, why is the continuity that important? Why are you giving favors over to that side? You know what I mean? So number one, we probably got way more Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU. That should make everybody really happy. Number two, probably Norman Osborn. Will probably solidify Norman Osborn in the MCU. I see no other crown jewel. I see no other big thing. I was under the impression that Sony had all the leverage here. But even then, pushing dates like this? That's crazy. It doesn't really make sense. Unless Marvel's getting something really juicy. And so that's what I think is going on, guys. The official news is that, yet again, more delays are hitting the MCU. Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness, we will now not see until 2022. And Marvel is literally giving their prized dates to Sony Pictures. Something has to be going on there. Okay? So, let's get back into the chat setting. I definitely want to see what you all are thinking about this. What do you guys think about this? And then we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll get into this Star Wars news, and then we will go from there. Chat, why? Oh, there it is. I was like, why is the thing not popping up, man? What are the people saying? Feige needs to consult with Sony Marvel if it's connected because there will be many cooks in the kitchen. And it will probably contradict and dilute the connected story. Sony didn't want Feige/Marvel Comics to pull an Uncanny X-Men like they did with Fox. That's interesting. Lonely Banner says, man, you got me thinking. That's what we do on a Monday morning, baby. We get you thinking, baby. Sonyverse really connected to the MCU? That means Morbius can still have scenes with Blade. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, look, man. I got to tell you, what was seeming pretty far-fetched, it seems a little bit more possible now. Their working relationship is stronger than we thought. It has to be. Has to be. Right? XR Coon says, silver and black? XR Coon, always on the ball. Always on the ball. That's something else that's very interesting. Let's talk about this for a second. There was a report that came out on comicbook.com where I believe it was the writers and creators of Silver and Black said something to the effect of that it could turn out to be a show that could release on Disney Plus. Sony peoples. Sony people talking about Silver and Black going to Disney Plus. And when I first heard that, I said they had to have misspoken. They can't be saying that correctly. That can't be really what they meant. But then when you take a look at what happened on Friday and you think about the dates being given to Sony Pictures, it doesn't make sense, guys. Holy shit, what if Silver and Black comes to Disney Plus? What once seemed impossible now kind of seems like could be. Maybe that's what we got going on. I don't know, guys. I'm sure we'll probably get into a little bit more of that when it comes to Q&A in a little bit here. Look, it's really juicy. It's really juicy. Obviously, we're speculating. We don't know. But it's like real interesting. Like, on the one hand, I already thought it was pretty crazy that they would delay because of Spider-Man 3. I already thought that was pretty crazy. But then to hand some of these dates over to Sony, like literally, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense unless something else is going on. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. But then again, maybe it does. You know, and you gotta think too, does the overall macro projections on Hollywood, the Hollywood system, and how all of that works, you know, given obviously the delays in the state of the world, is that playing a role here? Because I think that contract was figured out way before this happened. But obviously the moves to move everything happened very recently. I'm just really confused. You know, and I'll say this too. Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness going into... Oh, wait. Jack that up so that we can hear the robot. I see James Heaton just dropped a massive super chat in, and I appreciate it, brother. Let's see if we got... Chat, where's the robot? What do you mean? Oh.
1. Feige is going to get more control in the Sony movies. They want to be in the MCU anyway. 2. Osborn is coming and they'll set up Dark Avengers. 3. Josh and Chet are one in the same, just like Roger Wardell.
Whoa, Roger. Okay, so first of all, Roger Wardell is probably Kevin Feige. But Chet, no. Like, that's... I mean, look, that's kind of gross. You know what I mean? Like, look, Chet, I mean, look, you guys don't have to see his face. It's in his contract. You don't get to see his face. He's a hideous human being. Okay? He's a really, look, Chet, you know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. You're a very hideous human being. Okay? I have to look at this guy's face every day. It is disturbing to me to be accused of being the same person as Chet. It's a little bit icky. In fact, Chet, do me a favor. Stand up. Stand up. Yep. Nope. I know it's not your fault. Stand up. I can't. I just can't today. You can go. Bye. Yep. See you later. Okay. Look. See ya. Nope. This is James's fault. Okay. He's making me think about you. I can't. Yep. See you later. Okay. I'll take it from here. Okay. Thanks. Now, going back to your question here. Feige is going to be more in control in the Sony movies. That's possible. That's definitely a scenario that I could see happening. That could be a possible explanation for what's going on. Osborn is coming and they'll set up Dark Avengers. Yes. 100%. 100% agree with that. Definitely. And as always, thank you so much for the support, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thanks for making me get Chet out of here, man. Whew. Look, Chet will be okay. Don't feel bad for Chet. Don't feel bad for Chet, everybody. Don't feel bad for Chet. Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness better be freaking amazing. You know? Think about the timeline for this one. This is really weird, too. So you start out by Scott Derrickson getting off the project and him coming in, right? Sam Raimi comes in. And we're like, okay, well, we only have... I've been working with Chet on something fun for everyone. Yeah. Ryan's been working on something with Chet, for sure. You been watching on the Twitch? How's it looking over on the Twitch, Ryan? I'm just curious. So Sam Raimi comes in, and at first it's like, holy crap, he doesn't have a lot of time. Then we push it back, and he's like, okay, he's got 4 more months. That's cool. Now it's like, holy crap, this movie's coming out 2022. 2022. Chet just tweeted your email password? He better not have. He better not have. I'll get him, man. I know where he lives. I also know where he works. Pardon me, folks. Before we get into this Star Wars news, I need to take a sip of this delicious, organic Taylor Lane coffee, the official coffee of the morning streams here on the Den of Nerds. Go check it out. You can get your own organic Taylor Lane coffee shipped to you. Use the code NERDS10 at checkout for 10% off, and also so that they know that we sent you over there. Pardon me 1 second as I sip this. That tastes like lifting social distancing restrictions. Tastes like freedom. Tastes like normal. Get yours today. Okay. Let's talk some Star Wars. I would say Chet put me on the big screen, but he ain't here, so I got to figure it out myself. Okay. Woo! Maybe I should pause the music on this. Okay. I don't want to take shots at people. You know what I mean? I feel like I've beefed a little bit with some retractors of Lucasfilm, Disney, Star Wars, you know, fandom menace people. And honestly, I don't really want to go there. I don't really want to beef with these people. I don't really want to... I for damn sure don't want to attack them for their opinions. I think in a lot of ways our opinions are very similar. I think overall most of the Star Wars fan base probably feels, except for like some people, but most of us probably feel like, damn, dude, Star Wars should do much better. You know, like Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney, Kathy, the whole lot. They could do a much better job. I think that's totally fair. However, the behavior of some of the people over there is frankly, how do I put this nicely? Absurdly irresponsible. Absurdly irresponsible. This latest bit with Leslie Skoglund, this latest story surrounding her and the way that it's being covered and the stories that are being spun out from it are bizarre and fraudulently incorrect. When this story first broke, like I was like, okay, well, look, you know, this Star Wars thing, it's broke by Variety, is what it is, female centric. What does that mean? Not in any timeline that we know of that's been explored with Star Wars. What does that mean? Whatever. I didn't really think much of it. Okay, now people picked up on the fact that Skoglund deleted hundreds of tweets before that announcement broke by Variety. And that's true. From everything that I can see, that is 100% true. She scrubbed tweets before the announcement came out. That's true. It would appear that a lot of those tweets were inflammatory and were fringe left ideology tweets. You know what I'm talking about. The ultra woke. The super woke. You know, like borderline racist, sexist, SJW stuff. So she scrubbed them. Now, what spun out of that was a story that Kathy Kennedy had gone rogue and had leaked this to Variety in order to put the studio in a position in which they had to make this show, and that Bob Chapek and Bob Iger don't want this show to happen and are super upset that this story got leaked. And beyond that, they're trying to claim that Skoglund, by wiping those tweets, it proves that she was either in on it or that Disney was in on it or something like that. So that's all bullshit. And I've spoken to several people that have explained to me that that's all bullshit. First, let's start with this idea that the story got leaked to Variety. And honestly, here's a logical fallacy with the ideas presented by a lot of people in the fandom menace that I hope they can acknowledge. When it came to the Obi-Wan story, the Obi-Wan show, you know, we broke that story before anyone that the show was indeed being delayed. It did indeed have production problems. Now, a lot of people in the fandom menace claim to have reported that either at the same time as me or before that. In fact, Ryan Kinnell and I had a little back and forth in this in a YouTube comment section. And I said, you know, fair play to you, but all you did was really just be skeptical of something with no basis in fact. You know, I got that scoop literally handed to me by Jason Ward. Jason Ward literally said, no, it's real. Here's what's going on. I can't run with it yet, but you can. And I did. The thing about it is the same thing that the people in the Menace were like, oh, this is crazy, because what this clearly indicates is that the trades were working with Lucasfilm. You know, and that's true. And I agreed with them. And when Ryan and I spoke in that YouTube comment section, I said, you know, we can agree at least that the media, the mainstream media, really dropped the ball on this. The mainstream media was protecting Lucasfilm in that situation. And so it's like, on the one hand, they understand that the trades are in cahoots with Disney because it's political. But then on the other hand, they think that Variety would go rogue and report something without Lucasfilm being aware of it, without adhering to that political situation that goes on with the trades. They can't both be correct. That's a logical fallacy. The way the trade game works is that there is cooperation between the studios and the trades. The trades don't go rogue and report things without hearing back from the studios. They're too afraid of losing their access, which is a narrative that side likes to spin. But when it's convenient to ignore that narrative and to create a new narrative that's really clickbaity and poppy, they'll take it. It's not true. It's likely that Disney PR reached out to Skoglund after being approached by the trade about it and said, hey, just so you know, Variety's going to run an article about you developing a female-centric Star Wars show, This is ahead of our timetable. PR thinks you should probably delete these tweets. I also have heard that this show's not even close when it comes to development. Not even close. But the idea that there's this power struggle going on over at Lucasfilm and that Kathleen Kennedy would need to leak something in order to get it done in the studio, it makes no sense. That's not what happened here. And the truth is, too, beyond even that, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Honestly, the way Lucasfilm views this, the way all studios view this, is this. There is a demographic of female viewers that have a lot of purchasing power in the marketplace, and they watch a lot of shit. Star Wars is always going to try to create content for different groups of people. Now, most of the mainstream Star Wars stuff should hit what's called all four quadrants. It should hit everybody. But obviously, there is going to be stuff that's geared to children. We've already seen it. There's going to be stuff geared towards a male audience more. And there's going to be stuff that's geared towards a female audience. That's what female-centric means. It's literally for females. And so they're developing a female-centric Star Wars show, not to push some agenda, not to create more of a rift and a combative situation over at Lucasfilm, but because there's a big section of the population that happens to be female Star Wars fans that they want to continue to make content for. Now, I'm not saying that Skoglund is a good person. I'm not saying Skoglund is the perfect person to do this job. I've seen some of the things she's talked about. I've seen some of the things she said in tweets. It rubs me the wrong way. I'll be real. It rubs me the wrong way. But to think that just because that is true, it means all of these other things are true is irresponsible. And all this talk about different sources, independent things that they're hearing that they can't confirm. Look, guys, we've seen this before. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. There are no real sources over there. There's no real integrity when it comes to reporting these things. I can appreciate them being upset at the things that are going on at Lucasfilm. I'm willing to talk about those things. I'm willing to break them down. But this whole let's spin a story out of a story, let's create a narrative that ignores our own logic we have used in the past, it's irresponsible. And it's not true. Kathy ain't playing a shady, behind closed doors sort of thing. She's the president of Lucasfilm. There is no conspiracy. You think Bob Chapek and Bob Iger, who are currently probably fighting for Disney's life, are concerned with a stupid scoop done by Variety because there's no news about a female-centric Star Wars show that is years off in development? You think Bob Chapek and Bob Iger are sitting around pissed off at Kathy Kennedy because of this fucking scoop in the middle of a pandemic when Disney is fighting for its fucking life? I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you. Honestly, dude, look, and honestly, look, if you're one of the people that wants to check that kind of stuff out and you like it and it's Schadenfreude and you're just like, screw you Disney, screw you Lucas and all that stuff, do you, boo? I ain't even hating. But I feel it's my responsibility to try to set the record straight. So that's it, folks. That's what's going on, at least from what I'm willing to talk about and what I know when it comes to this female-centric Star Wars show. And now let's get back into the chat setting, and let's get into Q&A. That was kind of a spicy one. I'm sure there's a few questions. I'm sure some people might have a question or two. And let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Bob Chapek and Bob Iger are furious, guys. Furious. Glad bigger channels like you speak on it. When smaller channels address the lies, they just try to bury us. Well, I mean, I think I think they probably want to bury, my shit too. I might clip that out and put it on the main channel. I might not. Honestly, like, I've tried to avoid that story. I didn't even want to talk about it. I think Adam and I talked about it last week, but like the real basis was like, what kind of a show could it be? Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Just the amount of narrative that's spun out from it. It's so crazy to me. I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I'm watching like Midnight's Edge's video, and to be honest with you, I almost thought of, let's go into the theater, let's put Midnight Edge's video up, and I'll pause it at every moment that something false is being said or something that I know is not true is being reported. But honestly, we would be pausing way too much. And I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to do like beef and all that. Speculating and, having fun and making content like that, it's all good. I get the game. I understand it. And honestly, I wish them well. And there's clearly a lot of people that are upset enough with Lucasfilm that they enjoy that kind of content. Dude, I'm with you guys on that one. Lucasfilm needs to do a much better job. I just think in the long term, it's irresponsible to report this stuff. If they're really getting this stuff from independent, unverified sources, well, my question to them would be, what are you doing to try to verify these sources? Are you making an effort to actually get the right information, or are you taking anything that you get that fits into the narrative that you know will incite your audience? Look, it's not even a question. I know what you're doing. And I'm not even like that mad about it, but what I would say is, think about what you're doing to the longevity of content creators here on YouTube. You're going to hurt the credibility of all of us. All of us. I want what you want. I want Lucasfilm to be better. I want Star Wars to be better. I want what you want. I think you are actually damaging the thing that you want by acting in the way that you are. So anyways, let's get into Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have a question? I've got an answer. We'll go for like 15 more minutes. Maybe it's just my coffee. My coffee is so spicy. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what's going on. You should start with making Geeks and Gamers great again. Yeah, so Jacob's Quest says, and this is an interesting point. Let's put it up on the screen. The real bullshit here is that there's plenty of real stuff to criticize, but that's not what they actually care about. They want to make the most flashy, outrageous, clickbaity stuff, even if they make it up. See, I tend to agree. Yeah. KK would have been gone a while ago if it wasn't for unwashed masses crying for her head. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Because, by the way, I'm no fan of Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. I think she's actually an awesome person. And that's another thing. People are like, oh, there's this great divide and there's this great civil war at Lucasfilm. No, there fucking isn't. No, there is not. Are there some people that are upset with things that are going on with Star Wars? For sure. There's no civil war. People like Kathy. People like Kathy. Extraction movie is pretty dope. I thought Extraction was cool. I want to check out more of it though. I haven't finished it. According to my sources, Great Lakes Avengers will take the place of Doctor Strange 2 in the Star Wars crossover with the MCU. Woo! More Dragon Ball and anime content? Maybe, man. Maybe. We'll see. This week might be a good place to put it in there. Maybe. How long do I think the Sony MCU deal really is? That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know. So, again, getting back to that situation, it's so confusing to me. It's intriguing to me. I really don't know. I would tell you that I think what's going on right now with the world has thrown things into chaos, and there's probably a lot more discussions happening. But a lot of Sony's benefit is predicated on the continued success of the MCU. They're more attached than I think maybe either studio is willing to admit. What I find very interesting is, like, what does Feige want from this whole situation? He obviously has a great bit of leverage here. I'm just confused. Like, does he feel like it's enough? Like, if he gets Tom at least showing up periodically for the next 10 years, let's say, and he's got Osborn for maybe the next 10 years, is that enough? Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of very interesting things on the horizon when it comes to that arrangement and what they're going to be doing. I'm going to be really interested, frankly, if there will be any sort of stream this year to take the place of San Diego Comic-Con. It really feels like this is just a lost year for entertainment. Like, it really does feel that way. It's a lost year in entertainment. Black Widow hitting November. You know, it doesn't it feel that way? Doesn't it kind of feel like let's just take our 2020 naps and wake up at the end of 2020 and we'll be all good? So what does that mean? Like, I mean, it's cool that Feige has more time to plan all this stuff and figure this stuff out. The Russo brothers have more time to work on Secret Wars. A lot more. Any thoughts on Hellstrom? I think that's what you mean is Hellstrom. Not the Hailstrom, right? You're talking about the animated series. I'll check it out. It's on Hulu. I don't really have Hulu right now. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool. I don't think it's going to connect to anything. It's just going to be some cool Marvel stuff. What will the best picture for the Oscars be? That's a tough one, too. What are they going to do? What shows and movies do you want in the MCU? 117 in the chat. Let's go Master Chief, dude. Love me some Master Chief. Dude, Mike Porter, it's so crazy you say that. They actually hit me up, and they wanted to do some ads, and I actually said no, because I just didn't. I don't necessarily really believe in those products. But it's cool to hear that you like it. You've been doing the Topps collecting Marvel app. That's sweet, man. I had just assumed that wasn't something many people would be into. So I was like, I don't really know if that's... I don't really... no, thanks. You know, they wanted to work with us, though. Godzilla vs. Kong gets Best Picture. Let's go back. I read these questions, but I didn't really answer them. What movies or shows do you want in the MCU? Obviously, Dark Avengers. Everybody knows that. I'm excited to see what they do with Moon Knight. I don't know. Something with Cable, maybe. I really like Cable. Some stuff with mutants would be sweet. Would you want Osborn to appear in the Sinister Six or Dark Avengers? I'd prefer him to be in the Dark Avengers. I'd actually prefer it if they did him in Dark Avengers and Thunderbolts and really made him MCU central. If that's really if that's what Feige's doing, like if that's what the whole negotiation is like, hey, you guys are doing your thing over here, and I'm even going to help you do your thing, but we get Osborn. Osborn's over here doing his thing. That would be really cool. James says, something that's been bothering me, because we never address it, when Thanos says, fine, I'll do it myself, was he controlling Ultron through the Mind Stone, or was that scene connected to the Guardians of the Galaxy? No, he wasn't controlling him through the Mind Stone. No. The Mind Stone, I mean, you have to have possession of it to use its powers. So, yeah. Would I want? Yeah. So I've already read that one. Moon Knight better get here quick. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. You think Norman Osborn shows up in the Multiverse of Madness? Hey, it's possible. Look, Multiverse of Madness. I mean, the one thing that's good about all of these delays is that Multiverse of Madness is indeed going to be, like, it's obviously going to be a very significant film, but now they have the proper time, and they can not only plan that film, but plan out what happens from it. I really do believe it's our first introduction to the incursions and to the multiversal threats. Do you think the WandaVision leaks you covered would come true? I revisited that video, and the leak is awesome. Yeah, I do. I do think those leaks will end up being true. And that show wrapped, dude. That show wrapped. They might have like a couple of pickups, a little bit of stuff to fix up for that show, but that show wrapped, and it might have to sit in the can now for over a year. I mean, how crazy is that? They either put that film in the can for a year, or they release it and then make us wait a whole year before we see Doctor Strange. Like the whole thread, like it's crazy, right? Like it's so wild. Oh my God, Burke the Nerd says, "What's the live discussion tonight?" I almost forgot. We need to figure out the community stream tonight. We need to figure that out. We need to figure that out, boys. What are we thinking? Anybody got any good ideas for the community stream tonight? Would Jessica Jones be considered female-centric? That's a good question. What do you guys think? It's a very good question. I'm late, but who is Leslie Scott? It's Skoglund, I believe. Talk trash on the Fandom Menace. I don't want to talk trash on the Fandom Menace. Honestly, that's me. Look, I know there are a lot of people out there that want to do that. I don't. I actually would rather collaborate with Fandom Menace. I would rather get them to actually make some content with me and try to get some more interesting ideas into the conversation that they have going on. We could do something Star Wars tonight. I'm down with that. Yeah, Leslie Skoglund, I believe, is it. I've thought about, is Flash Gordon still relevant? Oh my God, Mav, welcome to 2020. Have I figured out what Spider-Woman's role is going to be? No, I have not. So, okay. John Yabanya, is that how I say your name, brother? She is the person that's supposedly developing a female-centric live-action Star Wars movie. I do think, it's an interesting question, Star Wars fan. I see where you're going with it. I would say that, yeah, I would define Jessica Jones as female-centric, yes. I love that show. But yeah, I guess that would be maybe female-centric. I'd say like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, maybe even Glow, although I think Glow has a little bit more of a mass appeal because, with the action and stuff, I think it does appeal to the quadrant of men and all that. Talk about the last 4 episodes of the Clone Wars. let's discuss the ending of the Clone Wars and if there could be a twist ending. We could do that. You guys want to talk about Clone Wars tonight? How about this? Let's talk about the Clone Wars tonight. Let's also talk about the Rebels sequel. Maybe tonight should be well, the community stream next week, I believe, is actually going to be on Saturday, Santa, because the first community stream of each month is on Saturday, not on Monday. But we can do a special stream on Monday just for just a Star Wars stream, maybe later at night where we're just geeking out about all the dope Star Wars stuff, because May the 4th is going to bring us the final episode of the Clone Wars arc. It's going to bring us the Mandalorian doc, and then Rise of Skywalker happens on Disney Plus as well. So lots of Star Wars stuff happening on May the 4th. Maybe we should just do a big Star Wars, okay. Leslie Headland. Okay. Appreciate. I see what you're saying, Justin. I don't think it's everybody in the film, but it is a lot of them. And I will say, though, I like Birds of Prey. I stand by that. I think it's a fun movie. I stand by it. Because in my opinion, it can be all those things that you say it is, and maybe it is, and it could still be a good movie. Or at least enjoyable. Look, I don't get butthurt about tweets. That's just me. And honestly, if people want to, that's fine. Like, look, it's all good. It's all good. I'm trying to... The Force surrounds us and binds us, okay? Luminous beings are we, not these crude tweets. You know what I mean? Birds of Prey is currently the front runner for Best Picture. Oh, man. Who here has not said dumb shit on Twitter? I deleted my Twitter. I deleted my personal Twitter years ago. Read my question, says Ray Hall. What's the question, man? Can you just drop it in again, man? I don't know. My computer's being weird. How about this, folks? This is what I want to do tonight on the community stream. Let's get some yays or nays in the chat. Let's talk about Dave Filoni and his future with Star Wars. Let's talk about Dave Filoni and the future of Star Wars, because we can get into the animated stuff. We can talk Clone Wars. We can also talk about him having a bigger role at Lucasfilm. Let's talk Dave Filoni. Trinity says, I don't say dumb shit ever. Battle World idea for tonight? I'd like to talk about Dave. Can we talk about Dave? Maybe that should be the thumbnail too. Like, let's talk about Dave. We just have Cowboy Dave on the fucking thumbnail. Is that okay? Can we talk about Dave tonight? Can't wrap my head around how much Spider-Man, given the importance both in MCU and all that. Let's talk about Dave. Can we talk about Dave? We're going to talk about Dave. What do you think, guys? Was I more diplomatic today? I felt like I was more diplomatic, you know? I've been meditating a lot about just content and all of that. Trev coming in hot with the super chat. Robot voice will probably be delayed in a second here, but I'll jack up the volume so we can hear this sweet-ass robot talk. I'm interested to see what the robot says. Only if the thumbnail is executed well.
Sounds good, dude. Dave F. Franco. Lol.
Dave F. Franco. Lol. No. No, Trev. Cowboy Dave. We talking about Cowboy Dave, man. God. You guys are out of control. You guys are out of control. Yeah, I felt like we were diplomatic today. Fancheck says, yes, I expected a 30-minute rant. Will the box office suffer after this Panera Bread-demic? And for how long? Look, man, nobody knows. I think we're all just trying to figure that out together. You know what I mean? By the way, did you guys know that up there in the corner? Oh shit! It's hard to do this on the screen. Up there. Up there. Do you know what that is? That is a Count Dooku Clone Wars figure signed by Cowboy Dave Filoni himself. That's what that is. We all suffer after Panera Bread. Yeah, maybe. Problem with the Den of Nerds community is that there are equally as many Star Wars and Marvel fans, so you don't want to burn off everything with Marvel. Yeah, I know. Honestly, that is probably one of our challenges, and I'd love to have a lot of DC fans over here too, and so we have this very eclectic group, and I think that's cool. The problem is, like, Chet keeps talking shit on DC. You know what I mean? I'm over here trying to tell y'all it's going to be okay. Batman looks dope. Matt Reeves is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see Ezra Miller. And community stream tonight, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll talk about Dave, man. Can we talk about Dave? We need to talk about Dave. You know what I mean? We got to talk about Dave. Is Trinity live yet? Trinity says, let's see here. A madman talking about me. Goku wins every time. We need to talk about Dave starring Ezra Miller. Yeah, exactly. Exactamundo. The Chet merch out there. We can design some Chet merch. We could do something like that. I love Green Lantern too, man. Big fan. Big fan of Green Lantern. Trinity's up. All right, let's get my man's link in here, and we'll get over there. I hope to see you guys over there on Trinity's stream. Have as long as he can make it, we'll have Trinity back on the stream Wednesday. Because, man, I thought my conversation with Trinity was so good. So it looks like he's got like a 3-minute countdown. So I'll put this in our chat here. I really thought that that combo with Trinity was so good. And I'm looking forward to talking with him again, man. I want to talk to him about some comic stuff. And we can get into some controversies. You know what I mean? We can get into some of that. That is the link over there. And, yo, Lonely Banner, man, I'm going to try to hit you up, but I'd love to have you on it as well. I want to have, like, Adam from Fanjecture, the Lonely Banter, Trinity. Ryan usually can make my Tuesday. So, Ryan, if you're watching, and I'll text you later, I'd love to have you on tomorrow to talk about some stuff. And then that would leave, we'd need one more person. I'd love to have you guys on as rotating guests, maybe even a specific day where you're always on the morning stream. And so the thing about it is, like, the morning stream, it gets a decent amount of coverage out there, but obviously these aren't breaking. Like, I think our biggest morning stream has only done like 3,000 or 4,000. So these don't break like 5,000. They usually do about 1,000 to 2,000 views. But then we can clip out the segments if we nail it and we have a really good talk, we can clip that stuff out and put that in a video on the main channel and potentially have it seen by a lot more people, and then sort of plug you guys that way as well. Sort of create a network of just cool fucking people that make content, man. I'd love to have Star Wars Santa on as well. And just kind of do that. That would be really cool. So we got just a little bit of time here before Trinity goes live. Got about a minute. Get on over there and let's get this raid going on, guys. Get on over to Trinity's thing right now, because you can get over there and wait while the thing is going on. I'll push the link in again, and then I want to tell you a little story too about something that happened last night in my Dungeons and Dragons game. I'm feeling real guilty. And I'm feeling bad. I did a bad thing, guys. Hit me up on the Discord later. Will do, brother. Will do. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you something, man. So I'm playing this guy right now. His name's Gore. He's a pirate. He's a tiefling pirate, which means he kind of looks like a devil. Okay? He's got red skin. He's got a samurai type pirate hybrid code. Well, last night we're on this island, and basically there's two sides of this island. There's a red dragon on the west, and then there's a gold dragon on the east. Okay? And we're looking for this artifact. And we need to get this artifact to stop the end of the world. And we're at this spot in the story where there's a dude we just captured from a bunch of invisible people. That was sweet. We had this fight with all these invisible people. It was awesome. We handled business with all these invisible people. We had one alive. We're interrogating him. The guy tells us that we've got it wrong. And the people we're supporting are actually enslaving his people and destroying his people. And his people were here first. And so I strike a bargain with this guy to get the remaining warriors that he has, 36 people, to join with me and my party on a quest to go into the western region where the red dragon is and to fight against what will probably be a horde of undead zombies to stop a necromancer and to grab this artifact. Now, this gentleman demanded the head of one of my companions. And we obviously weren't going to give that to him. And so what I said was, I would give you the head of these two other people that we had previously saved, these innocent NPCs. And while most of my party was scavenging and looting, I turned on the men that we had just saved. I cut off both of their heads in order to strike a bargain with this invisible guy to get his warriors. And my whole party was horrified that I did this. And I don't feel good about it either, guys. I'm struggling with what I did. Does it justify getting those soldiers? I don't know. The look in their eye, they trusted me. My inner chat is coming out. Maybe. I'll tell you, if you've never played D&D, it's brilliant. I also know some of you guys are starting up a campaign with Jason. Classic ends justify the means. What's up, Rachel? Look, if you've never played a Dungeons & Dragons campaign before, I know some of you are formulating a campaign right now with Jason. You're going to have a blast. I am a pirate, yeah. You're going to have a blast. He's a really good writer. All right, guys, are you over there on Trinity Stream? He's live, baby. Okay, we're shutting this down. We're shutting this down. I'll see you on Trinity Stream, guys, okay? If you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Twitch, if you're watching this wherever you're watching this, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the love and support. I feel like we had a good stream today. Also, if you are someone of the, Fandom Menace or someone over there that you didn't like my Star Wars take, you want to talk about it, reach out to me, man. I'm willing to hear you out. Maybe we can do a little collaboration together and kind of get to the bottom of it. I'm not trying to condemn. I just got to speak what I know. That's all. All right, guys, as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video. Chet ain't here, so he can't do the outro video.